Good morning, happy Monday, and happy New Year. So I wanted to jump on here and do a quick year in review from Cornbread Hustle. As most of you already know, Cornbread Hustle is a staffing agency for second chances, meaning we help people coming out of prison find meaningful employment. So this year in review is basically us asking all of our clients what their most successful hires have been from us, because we really like to take a look and learn. We've been doing this for 6 years. I've personally been placing people in jobs coming out of prison for 10 years. So there were a lot of failing forward experiences and a lot of trial by error. But today we seem to have done a pretty great job at staying committed to educating and empowering our clients on how to create a second chance environment in their workplace. So, first of all, what I will say is that, there's a lot of times that you'll hear people talk about starting a background hiring policy that includes nonviolent crimes. I will tell you that 48% of our most successful hires are actually those of violent crimes. So what we've learned at Cornbread Hustle is usually the more harsh of the crime, the better the employee. And it's not all the time, right? Because we have a vetting process where we speak to every single person that comes into our office, whether you have a criminal record or you don't. We don't discriminate. We don't tell you, hey, go rob a bank and then we'll talk to you. So 40%, by the way, of our most successful employees are nonviolent offenders, meaning like drug possession, selling drugs, theft. So we have 40% who are our most successful clients, or employees, I should say, that are nonviolent, and then 12% of our most successful have no criminal record at all. We do have a 80% retention rate. So for those of you who have worked with staffing agencies or you have a staffing agency, you know that that's really, really good. I do believe wholeheartedly the reason for that is because we are specializing in helping people coming out of prison find meaningful employment. A lot of workplaces don't take some of those more harsh crimes. A lot of places are saying, hey, if it's not 7 years old or if it's not 7 years old or older, we don't want it, and we only want nonviolent offenders. I might have some clients watching this video right now and they're like, 80% retention rate. That's not what it's been for us. So we do not have a perfect success rate at all of our clients' workspaces. So it really depends on the workplace environment, the supervisors. It depends on the type of job and the type of pay. I will say that our most successful client right now is a client that does allow us to hire anybody with any type of background. They have decided to trust us, and they're not just one. We have a couple that do this, but this one in particular, they have decided to allow us to vet and make the decision, and no matter what their criminal background is, we are able to place them. That is our most successful workplace environment. Some of our less successful workplace environments or environments that sometimes they'll say, hey, we want to have, so it's narrowing the talent pool, right? So we have a giant talent pool. We get hundreds of calls a day of people coming out of prison or people with a criminal record. And when we have a client who says, I only want nonviolent offenders and I want it to be at least 3 years old, and we're going to pay $15 an hour, and it's very labor intensive, we are not going to be able to be as successful. We're still going to do the best that we can because we understand our clients' concerns and fears around second chance hiring, and we want to do what we can to acknowledge those and still work towards placing great people who are a fit for their environment. However, when we're looking for people who have nonviolent crimes, they do have more options. And if it's a low paying job and the work is really tough, it's going to be less likely that we're able to maintain that 80% retention rate. Again, we try our best every single day, but those are the clients that we see that we have a little bit more of a struggle with. We do have clients that also, sometimes, and it's not always, we always tell our clients it's not the HR professional's fault or anything like that. Sometimes the workplace does need a lot of work in terms of supervisors getting some type of leadership training or empathy training, because how the supervisors treat employees, whether they're second chance or not, that really makes a huge difference. And so that one workplace that I spoke about that is our most successful currently, they do have very empowering supervisors, and it's often that we'll get an email that says, hey, John Doe is doing really great. Can you please give him 50 cents more an hour this week because of how much he showed up and showed out. We barely have anybody leave that workspace. Again, it is because they allow us to cast that wide net and search for people who have any type of background. And so we're able to pick the right candidate. We're not narrowing our talent pool, as opposed to other workplace environments. We have to, even if we have the best candidates ever for that job, we have to tell them no because of the background criteria. And again, in all of these videos, I'm simply just giving information, and my goal is to inspire, educate, and empower. I have no personal feelings towards if the CEO of a company or an HR professional has personal reasons why they don't want to bring in people with certain criminal charges. I understand. I am a for-profit, and so we don't make any money unless we're successful. And on top of that, it is my problem when something goes wrong, legally and financially. So I do understand that the feeling and just kind of the thought process of taking risks. I do also, sometimes with different workplace environments, I will suggest certain criminal background charges to be more wary of because of the work that's performed or because of the environment. We always try to do a walkthrough at every single client that we take on. And we interview our clients just as much as we interview the people that we are trying to place at our clients' workplace environment. So anyways, I hope this video gave a little bit of insight to what we do. Like I said, across the board, after we reached out to all of our clients over the past few years, which is about 2,500 people that we have placed. So out of 2,500 people we've placed, 48% had violent crimes, 40% were nonviolent crimes, and 12% had no criminal record at all. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me directly. I try to answer all that I can. And if you want to, if I missed something in this video, or if I didn't hit all the topics that you're looking for regarding second chances and criminal records, then just post a question in the comments and maybe I can do a follow-up video or I can answer in the comments. Thanks everybody. Have an amazing 2023.